This is my reaction slash review to the Errol Spence and Crawford. Scratch that. The Crawford demolition of Errol Spence. I wish I had done a prediction video saying that I'm just now starting this channel and getting in the swing of things. But even when the fight was announced, I'm a Spence fan first and foremost. So I was rooting for Spence. But in the back of my mind, I always knew that Bud was probably going to beat Spence. For the very simple fact, the way it came down in the fight. Errol has a bad tendency to lunge and jab and leave his head on line and tilt his head down to the left. He does it every time. Then when he hooks, he throws a wide looping hook and he goes straight in. When he comes back out, straight back out. When he's going forward, he rarely feints. He'll double tap in with the jab twice, straight on the line. Everything is straight on the line. He has no head movement at all. And he never gets his hand back to his face after he throws a jab or after he throws a hook. And when you watch Crawford fights, he is an exceptional counterpuncher. So just going on that, not even going on his power or his exceptional speed that he has, that God-given speed that he has, which is, he looked twice as fast as Errol Spence in that fight. But Spence he's too slow for him. He makes too many mistakes. And it showed in that fight from really the end of the first round, when he hit him with that first jab and he made Spence back up for the rest of the round. He figured out what he needed to figure out in that first round. In that second round, you could see it. Parrying that jab, knocking it down at the same time, tilting his head. Bow! Caught him with the right. Bam! With the left. When I first seen that knockdown in the second round, I was like, this ain't gonna end well. Because he does the same thing going in every time. I was like, that shit gonna be, it's gonna be that open all night long. And up until the ninth round, it was. And really, I think Bud took it easy on him. Because in that second round, he let him get back up and fight to the bell and protect himself. Even in the third round, he let Spence come off and try to get something off, which, he really couldn't even hurt Crawford, which was weird because the lead up to the fight was all the talk was about. Spence was too big. He was going to muscle him. And I kind of knew that wasn't going to be an issue either, because most of Terrence Crawford's opponents have been more stout than him and kind of bigger opponents than him. The only real smaller opponents he had was in the couple fights he had at 35 and 40, and Gamboa was his smallest opponent, but Porter was more stocky than him. He was throwing Porter all around the ring. Kell Brook was more stocky than him. Granted, he was on the layoff, but he threw him all around the ring. But he made Errol look like Errol's never really done any real weight work. He made Errol look like all he does is band work and core work. That's good for strength, but that functional strength, tossing somebody around or picking somebody up and moving them against their will, he ain't have none of that. And it showed. He tried to bull rush Terrence once in every couple rounds. He'd just Terrence would be at a standstill. He wouldn't even stand Terrence up. Terrence would just stand there, just push him back 3 or 4 feet. I was like, man, this ain't gonna end well. And throughout the whole fight, he would just counter him, bow, counter him, bow. He got to a point where DJ should have threw the towel in, man. Him and Errol are kind of prideful that way, but I just don't think Derek wanted to do Errol like that, because he kind of figured their relationship would kind of be messed up after that. But dude, you'd already been in a car wreck. Your past fights, you took a lot of damage. People don't ever mention that. He never moves his head. He took a lot of damage from Kell Brook. Porter, that fight was a dog fight. He took a lot of damage in that fight. And some of some of the narratives around the fight was Errol's not the same. He slurs his speech or whatever. He talked like that years back, but it got worse towards like the Sean Porter fighting, and after that, it kind of got a little worse after the car wreck. But it's like his motor skills, even in the Ugas fight, he was like doing the same thing, like lunging in, throwing those wide looping hooks. Sean kept catching him, and they fight. That's what in the back of my head the whole time after the announced fight, I was like, it's not gonna end well, man. I think Crawford is gonna keep countering him because of the way he fights, and it ended up that way. And it was sad watching that happen, man. As a fan of the dude, it was sad watching that happen. But you got to give Bud his respect. I mean, the talk was about his resume. People talked about who he fought and when he fought him. I mean, he dispatched everybody, put everybody down. I mean, it's not much you can say about Bud. Bud is the best fighter of this generation, like he said in the Showtime episodes, man. This is the Bud generation. Everybody that he's fought, he's beat, pretty much knocked everybody out. All the opponents that mattered, really. And the biggest fight of his career, he put the biggest fight of his career, he put the biggest beat down on paper for the world to see in Las Vegas for the world to see on that pay per view. That was a I didn't expect to see nothing like that. That was shocking. I did not expect to see Spence get beat like that. I knew it was a chance he could get a flash knockdown, or maybe like catch Spence with something dirty coming in, reckless. But Spence just kept getting up, and I was like, dude, there's nothing you could do with him, and it showed because Spence like he lost confidence in everything. He was just bull rushing, wasn't even throwing a jab to come in anymore. He was just walking in, still walking in with his head down to the left, getting caught over and over. Even when he was standing on the outside, getting hooked off on. When he would go to the inside, getting doubled up to the body and getting hooked or uppercut, left or right, getting beat all around the ring, off balance. It was the ref did a good job at stopping the fight in the ninth round. He really wanted to stop it in the seventh, and that doctor was gonna stop it in the fourth because everybody in that arena knew it was nothing else he could do with Terrence Bud Crawford, man. It was a horrible matchup for him. It was just a horrible matchup for Spence. To be like to be as good as Spence has been in his past victories and beating the other champions that he's beat, he's gotten real fortunate that he hadn't faced anybody with like real counter punching ability. He faced Danny Garcia, but Danny Garcia is too slow to catch Spence with something nasty. But Terrence has the speed and the power. He just kept catching him over and over and over. But I really do wish I made that prediction video before the fight started because my prediction would have went. I like Spence. I'm a Spence fan. I like the way he fights, like the fundamentals, but he makes too many bad. He has too many bad things and too many flaws in his fighting style. And I knew it was gonna happen. Something was telling me in my gut, man. Something was telling me in my gut it's gonna end bad for him because he never cleaned any of it up. When you watch the media workout, it was like Derrick James kept slapping him upside the head, telling him to pull his hand back when he was jabbing, doing the same thing, jabbing or hooking and leaving his hand down. And Terrence was counting on it because he had been fighting like that pretty much his whole career. And he made light work of Spence, man. It was way too easy for him. That was whew, that was a sight to behold right there.